The voters to choose between Hillary Clinton's idea that people are stronger together and Donald Trump's promise to make America great again. It won't be long before we know which path America has taken. Gary O'Donoghue, BBC News, Philadelphia.
Well, let's show you the scene live in Arlington, Virginia, where voting is underway. The polls are opening across the nation as America decides, and the results will trickle in through the night. The earliest declaration is anticipated around about 4. I mean, the earliest declaration of who is going to be the president is anticipated to be around 4 in the morning. Let's go now to Christian Fraser. He's been doing all the very latest number crunching and the potential paths to victory for each of the candidates.
Good morning, Joanna. Yes, I think we have an exciting few hours ahead of us. Let's just begin by reminding everyone about the format. So this is not a first-past-the-post election. It's not a he or she who gets the most votes nationwide wins the election. Think of it instead as 51 mini-elections rather than one big election. So you'll see on the map that I've put up here that each of the states has a number of electoral college votes corresponding to the size of the population. And you'll see that the bigger states, New York, Florida, California, they have big numbers. They become more crucial. 538 votes across the map. If you pick up 270 electoral college votes, then you win the White House. So if you won California, even by one vote, you'd take all 55 votes. Now let me show you the map as according to the latest polls. So what I've done is I've coloured in blue those states that will definitely go for Hillary Clinton or most likely will go for Hillary Clinton, and in red those that will definitely go for Donald Trump or most likely will go for him. And already you can see from the numbers here that she is quite near to that 270. She's not an awful long way short on 54. He has an awful lot more to do. So I'm showing you that because she has more routes to the White House than he does. Now, what I've done here, I've coloured in some of these states, and there were 13 battleground zones there that she had to, and he had to fight in. I've coloured in those that I think would lean Republican or Democrat. So it leaves us with 7 crucial states. And you can see straight away that she's home and dry, 274. So it looks difficult for Donald Trump there, but not impossible, and I'll show you why. So let's suggest, for instance, that he picks up the Sunshine State of Florida. We'll colour that in red. It's peachy in Georgia. He wins North Carolina, and also those 4 crucial votes in New Hampshire. In the Rust Belt, he picks up Ohio and Arizona, which went for Mitt Romney in 2012. And you can see at this point that he's nearly home, but still she wins. So he has to flip something like Michigan, where Gary said he was campaigning yesterday. But let's say that he doesn't flip Michigan and take something like a Nevada, okay? So Viva Las Vegas, he wins in Nevada. Those 4 votes in New Hampshire then become crucial. But look, Florida is currently in red, and actually at the moment, albeit narrowly, it's polling for Hillary. So in this scenario, Florida becomes key. He has to win an awful lot besides Florida. She can win 1 or 2 of these states. Without Florida, she can still win the White House. So that gives you a bit of an idea. Of course, this is all a bit of guesswork, but it just gives you an idea of the sort of routes that she has to the White House and how difficult it is for Donald Trump.
Christian, thank you very much. Well, Andrew Neil and Katty Kay will have full coverage as the results come in a special programme on BBC One and the BBC News Channel, Election Night in America. That's at 11:15 tonight. Now, we'll have plenty of coverage as well, of course, throughout the day, and there's plenty of coverage online as well. Now, the British former banker Rurik Jutting has been found guilty of murder after the killing of 2 women in his Hong Kong apartment in 2014. He's been on trial for 10 days. The jury rejected his claim that personality disorders and excessive amounts of drugs and alcohol meant he had diminished responsibility at the time. His barrister read a statement in which he said the evil I've inflicted can never be remedied. Our correspondent Robin Brandt looks back at the case.
This is how Hong Kong marks Halloween. 2 years ago, a narcissistic murderer was on the streets. Rurik Jutting had already slaughtered 1 woman. As the night of October the 31st, 2014 came to an end, he was about to do it again. Sumati Ningsi suffered a horrific end to her life. She'd been tortured for 3 days, her dead body then encased in luggage. Seneng Mujiasi was killed within an hour of meeting Jutting. She was alive but bleeding to death when he called the police to his apartment. Both women had come to Hong Kong from Indonesia. Both ended up in his apartment on the edge of the red light district. Both had their throats cut. When the police got here, they discovered what one detective later described as a sea of blood. It took them several hours more, though, before they realised there was another body in a suitcase on the balcony. Rurik Jutting had a privileged upbringing. One of 2 brothers, he went to a top English public school, then Cambridge University. He was on the verge of turning 30 when he killed. He'd arrived in Hong Kong, a banker abroad, in 2013. But by the time he quit his job at Bank of America Merrill Lynch the next year, the jury heard he was an extreme narcissist whose life had descended into cocaine.